Okay, here's my trip to Michigan I took with my brother Bill. I drove up to Chicago, got caught in traffic, finally found a little refuge in a marina, had to do a little four-wheel drive in order to feel safe at night. This is the view in the morning. It was really beautiful. About 6 o'clock in the morning I took a little drive through town. It was pretty awesome. I was glad to get out of there. There was a nice boat that was kind of sitting right next to me, so it was interesting. Well, anyway, I made it to Chicago O'Hare a little early. These are some of the pictures I took while I was jogging and stuff around the airport at the Hyatt or the Hilton there. And then after my brother came in, we went over to Grand Haven. Went up to Grand Haven, and these are some of the pictures. This is it says reserved for bartender and reserved for post commander. So I just thought that was a little interesting. My brother actually pointed it out. Here's another little sign that we thought was interesting. This was at Silver Lake. A storm was coming in. There's a nice house there. It was a cool little lake. And then we passed Lake Mitchell, and I jumped in the water there. We were heading over to Houghton Lake, where we visited for a couple of days some old family friends. We took a ride on a pontoon boat back to where we grew up. My grandpa had a cabin across, right up here, right there, right in that neck of the woods, where the White House is actually. His old log cabin has been taken down, but as kids we used to walk through that little area. Actually, summertime on the lake is about me growing up in this neck of the woods on vacations. That used to be a lighthouse. There's some geese, and there was some spring water coming out of the ground there. Anyway, a bunch of relatives came up, and we met at a little local bar, and these folks all grew up together. They were mothers in the neighborhood back in Michigan, where I grew up. There's some uncles. We hopped on one of our old family friends' pontoon boats and took a little spin. And we went back down the river. But this is what it looked like one of the nights. The sun was going down, and it's so beautiful. I just love to see boats like that. It's just amazing. Feels good, feels good, feels just right. Anyway, here's some of that water I was telling you about. There's a lot of iron in the water, so it has a distinct taste. After that, we went to Higgins Lake, and this is the water there. Some people call it the Caribbean of the North. I met a fascinating gentleman there, and hopefully our relationship will evolve. It was a really cool, famous family. Anyway, this is a purple barn. We were driving through. I saw this purple barn, this plastic boat. One night we stayed. I don't even know what that lake was called, but we had to camp it and spend the night. We had some chicken. I bought some things up actually in the Houghton Lake area, some albums at a garage sale for, I think, $2 or something a piece. Hopefully they're worth a little more. And those are just some pictures. I was going to post them on eBay. But anyway, hopefully they're worth some money. If not, my girlfriend collects Elvis stuff, so there you go. All right, beyond that, after that we went to Platte River. Beautiful country. We got a paddle board, went on the paddle board down about 4 or 5 miles to Lake Michigan. This is the operation, and this is where we ended up. We swam across the river and laid on some sand dunes in the sun. It was just absolutely gorgeous. Sand dunes out on Lake Michigan. Straight across that river is where I was laying in the sun, sprinkling sand all over me. It was just wonderful. And then I swam down that river there. This is just more of the pictures and what the view was like. That's at actually another lake, and this is just another little picture of off the side of the road. It's a beautiful barn. Couldn't resist taking a picture. We saw lots of cherries, lots of beautiful views like this. It's a beautiful area. This is just a little beach. I believe this is off of Lake Michigan. It's just a nice little turnoff. We went to this little area. A lot of people were sitting on the beach. Very nice. I don't remember the name of the beach right offhand, but this is Leland, I believe, Michigan, and it's a little fishing village. They have a lot of people that take people out on the lake fishing. There's some cool little old buildings that I thought were worth photographing. There, that's what I was talking about, all the fishing boats. It's a cool little area. I like that picture, especially with the kids fishing there. There's a little information about it. This is, I believe, this might be, okay, I think that was Torch Lake. Anywho, we made our way to Traverse City, spent the night at some place that wasn't that great, but there was a lot going on in town, a big film festival thing. That's one of the boats. This is a cool barn that we just passed along the way. I couldn't resist filming it. This is Elk Rapids. Nice little area. That's a little hydroelectric plant. Here's one of the marinas. We passed 100 marinas. Here's an interesting table I saw there. I just liked how it was built. Just a beautiful picture of a or a sailboat. My brother found this church fascinating in the little town. I believe it was Elk Rapids. Okay, I don't really recall the name of that lake, but it was beautiful. It might have been Torch Lake. And in driving along, we stopped for breakfast at a little place called Mama's. The place was really cool. It was a nice area. I took some pictures of the signs in there. I love the names of those Indian names. I think there's a picture of the waitresses coming up here in just a moment. There they are. We had a nice, wonderful breakfast, and they made an awesome cinnamon roll. Oh, it was best ever. Just a nice house I saw, or we saw. I guess it's Charlevoix, and some of the water there. The water was really beautiful. The weather was perfect for the first 8 days or 7 days. And this is Bay Harbor up in Petoskey area. Some just really cool things of the place we stayed. It's a view of where we were staying. Some of the interior, that's quartz. It's a table, and that's a driftwood that's fossilized or something like that. I don't know. That's his Bay Harbor Inn there. This is just some of the view. This is an old wood boat. The guy that started croutons, evidently, owns that boat. This is the Secretary of Education, that Betsy DeVos. This is one of her family ships. And we just took a ride in one of these little electric cars all around this compound. It was really beautiful. Here's another place. I don't remember where that was, to tell you the truth. Oh, that was Harbor Springs. And there's a couple of the ships that the DeVos family has. This was an aerial from the area of Harbor Springs. I took that from a real estate agent's office. Couldn't resist. Some neat architecture. I just thought I'd snap a little picture. It was a gorgeous area. Just really beautiful. This is more of the pictures from where we were staying. And when we went to dinner, we were craving some real fish, and we stopped at this beautiful place. Look at that fireplace. Amazing. Look at the size of those boulders. It was really good. Kind of pricey, but it was good. And the view of the boats down below in this little channel, it was just really awesome. Kid Rock for U.S. Senate. Well, I don't know if he can do any worse than the people that are in there now. So then we had a couple beers, a little mini beers. This was a boat that was ferrying people around, and I couldn't resist taking a picture of that and that. And just more of where we were staying in that zone. We went for a pontoon boat ride. This is just some of the scenery we saw. This boat was coming up behind us. and I thought it was worth taking a picture of. This is a little locks that we went through. It's the first locks I've ever been through. There's some swan. I just found them very beautiful. I haven't seen them in a long time. I've got video of some of these things as well. Just a neat little old barn. Cool little old boat I'd like to have. Here's the Mackinac Bridge we crossed, and before we went there we got an ice cream, and this is just some of the stuff that we saw prior to going across the Mackinac Bridge. Here's my brother doing the hustle. No, he was just pointing at the bridge. We haven't been over that bridge together in probably 40 years, but anyway, just one of the pictures. We stopped in the middle of nowhere at this little lake. I think it was Curtis Lake. My brother was taking I took a swim the night before. He needed to get cleaned up in the morning, he thought. So he was out there taking a bath and washing his hair, and I couldn't resist clicking away kind of secretly while he was getting cleaned up there. So anyway, a funny shot. We met this really fascinating guy in this place. He's a sailor. He sails around the world by himself, and just a fascinating guy. He used to work at the highest levels in the United Kingdom for Prince William and Kate. Anyway, this is a relative up in Munising now, Grand Island. He was showing us around a little bit. Then we went swimming in Lake Superior. Water temperature was great. I guess you could drink the water right out of the lake. It's so clean. That's just some pictures there. We were looking. Okay, and before we left the Munising area and went north to Marquette, I just took a picture of, a lamp that a relative made. We stopped for some smoked fish. This was on the wall. This guy claimed actually to be a relative of ours, and so I couldn't resist taking some pictures of his ancestry, because I really didn't know, but I guess we do have some kind of connection in our relative system. I snapped a few pictures. We're all related. This is the dude, and he actually gave us a hug. Anyway, this is on Lake Superior. This is on Lake Superior. We were kind of going for a swim in some really beautiful water, and I swam way out there to that sandbar. There's my picture of my brother taking a piss. No, he's wearing one of my hats. Looks kind of funny. But just more pictures of Lake Superior. This is near the Painted Rocks, no less. And the water, like I said, was about 70 degrees. That's my brother doing some weights out in the water. Back in Munising, they're expanding the marina there downtown. And there was a guy playing the guitar. There's his name. And another picture of the things that were dredging out the marina there. Some relatives in an old cemetery dating back to 1865. It's on my mother's side of the family. I've never seen that before. Here's some pasties. I don't know if you've ever heard of pasties, but they're pretty interesting. Here's a thing that says Riley, and is at the coolest place I think I've ever been to. Junkyard metal artwork. Check this stuff out. It's just amazing. You drive through this area, and it's all this fascinating sculptures, and it's just amazing. It should be a movie. Look at this little band made out of metal. Just junk put together into art. Look at that. This snowmobile was like 15, 20 feet long, and this is just some mermaids and dolphins. Just made out of scrap metal. Amazing. Totally amazing. Look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. Lumberjacks. I mean, so details are like ties. It's called Lakenland. You can Google it. But check out this building. It was at Lakenland also. The shingles were all like different colors. Just the coolest gazebo thing I have ever seen in my life. And just more, there's a cool stage there. I couldn't resist taking some of these photos. We got to Marquette, and this thing, we didn't know what it was, but it was probably used to unload ships or something like that. This was, we finally made it to Wisconsin at the Apostle Islands. And these are just some of the pictures from up there. It was a long drive, but if you ever get a chance to explore those islands on a boat, I highly recommend it. The drive, not so good, but the water was nice that afternoon. We went swimming. I did a little on Golden Pond thing, went around the island, kind of did my thing. Actually, on that point up there, there's some rocks, and I just kind of just went swimming. If you know what I mean, Francine. And these are just some of the pictures of the sun going down, some of the foliage, flowers there. That was an old fishing dock from the 20s or something. And this is some people were kayaking over to the islands. Dangerous. We camped right around in this area. And then we were gone. And we were heading back. We saw a big place where they were building log cabins. We kind of did a little drive through there. Just a cool little motel, we thought. And there was a little pond and a little place for people, the guests, to hang out. So I thought, that's my speed. Bob's Big Boy restaurant, dating back a long time ago. Anyway, this is I think that's, I don't know what lake it is, but that cool little trailer. We hopped on this little barge. We stopped and looked at a piece of property, and my brother thought it was $100,000, but it turned out to be like $795,000 rather. That's on Torch Lake. I went for a swim out in front. It was a nice place. I could see potential. I mean, we're talking blue water, like green blue. Anyway, these are just pictures. That's the front of the place. I could imagine a deck and sliding glass doors on it and all that kind of stuff, painting the cabins like red, white, and blue and renting them. That's just an interior shot. But evidently it was in escrow. Places are expensive. This is at Elk Rapids again. They were having a festival of some sort. This we went for this is Douglas Lake area, and like a bed and breakfast, but it was called a boat and breakfast on a houseboat. This place was really hip. I got a little bit of video, talked to the owner. It's a really cool place. If you want to play your music, original music, they might go for that. Some of the pictures, the place was really funky. It was really cool. And I said, "Are you the owner?" He said, "Are you the IRS?" I mean, the guy was cool, and it was busy. You can't tell by that picture, but anyway. And that ship used to be docked where the red dock is out front there, but it's up back in Canada. On the way home, I just couldn't resist taking a picture of this. And that's all the pictures I took. This is coming back through Kentucky. I saw this ATV and a tractor on the back of that trailer, and I thought, that's cool. So there it is. 2 weeks in a nutshell. Thanks for watching.
To feel good, that is, we'll choose a healthy way to live. If you got too much stress, you got too much stress, you got too much stress, do less, 'cause sometimes less is more. You be glad you did. To feel good, that is, choose a healthy way to live. One more time, sing along with me.